So just pop your knees up, have your feet where they're comfortable. Take an inhale for a nice big breath, and on your exhale, gently tuck your pelvis and draw your belly button to your spine with a good shush. Inhale, let your back arch up off the floor. Exhale, roll into flat back, tuck your pelvis and draw your tummy flat. That looks great. Inhale, relax your shoulders. We're just gently unlocking the lower back before we start. Exhale, roll into flat back. So you're flattening your lower back to the floor, tucking your pelvis and lengthening your spine. Inhale, glutes off, hamstrings are relaxed. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and draw your belly button down and your lower back to mat. If we unlock the back, then we can get moving on the glutes for the knees. Inhale, nice long breath. Exhale, roll into flat back, belly button to spine, and flatten your back to the floor. This should feel like a tiny little stretch in your lower back for most of you. Inhale, let your back arch up off the floor. Exhale, draw your belly button to your spine, so you're pulling your abs flat and pulling your rib cage down and your lower back flattens. Inhale, let your back arch up. Exhale, roll into flat back, drawing your belly button to your spine and your lower back to mat. Inhale, relax your glutes. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and flatten your back to the mat. Inhale, let your back arch up. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and flatten and flatten and flatten and flatten your back. Use the next 3 breaths just to try and relax your body. Inhale. And exhaling to tuck. Shoulders are softened, palms of your hands are facing up. Inhale, let your back arch. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and flatten your back. Inhale, let your back arch up. Big breath. Exhale, tuck your pelvis, draw your belly button to your spine and flatten your back to the floor. Awesome. Okay, from here, Hayley's just going to grab a ball and pop it between her ankles and lie on her tummy. If you don't have a ball, you can do this without a ball, and you can also do it just by getting a couch cushion, folding it in half, or rolling up a towel and having it between your ankles. It is not a big deal if you don't have one. You can still squeeze your glutes here. All right, so legs out long, shoulders nice and relaxed. Take an inhale for a nice big breath. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes, so you're lengthening out your lower back. Inhale, your forehead's on your hands, shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, pull your belly button up towards your spine, tuck your pelvis and fire your glutes. The focus here is to get your glutes to fire. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and fire your glutes. It's like you're pulling your tailbone down towards your feet. Inhaling to relax. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze those glutes. Inhale to relax. Exhaling to tuck and squeeze your glutes. Inhale, glutes off, hammies off. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and fire your glutes. So it should feel like you're stretching out your lower back, your glutes are on. Inhale. This is a really good way to get glute function without too much hammies at the moment. Exhale, draw your abs up off the floor and fire those glutes. Inhale to relax. It feels like you're drawing your belly button off the floor. Pull your abs in, tuck your pelvis, squeeze those glutes and lengthen out your lower back. Inhale, quads off. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and fire those glutes. Glute function is the most important part of looking after knees and hips. Inhale. Exhale, make sure you can fire those glutes. Make sure you can get a really good glute squeeze. Inhale, relax your quads, hammies off. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and fire your glutes. Now make sure you do not lift your feet. If you're lifting your feet, you're trying to use your lower back. Inhale, tuck your pelvis, squeeze your glutes, leaving your feet down. You've got to get the pelvic tuck and squeeze those glutes. Inhale, relax your neck and shoulders. Exhale, tuck and squeeze those glutes, belly button to spine. Inhale, relax. Draw your abs up, squeeze the glutes and hold your glutes. Hold them there, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release off. Awesome. Okay, over onto your side. Get rid of your ball, and you've got your legs bent and heels in line with tailbone, and I'll show you how to check that at home. So you can put your hand just along your back, along your tailbone, and then just check that your heels are in line with that, and then put your legs down. So your legs are bent up, your knees, if you look down, your knees are sticking out in front of you, in front of your hips, almost at the edge of the mat if you're on a Pilates mat or a yoga mat. Head is resting and neck is resting on your upper arm. Take an inhale for a nice big breath. When you exhale again, you're going to draw those abs towards your spine. Pull your belly button in, squeeze your glute on your top leg and lift your knee. Inhale, bring your leg down. Exhale, pull your abs in, squeeze your glute to lift your knee. Inhale down. Now this is not a high lift. Pull your belly button to your spine. You're squeezing your glute and seeing if your glute can lift your knee, not your quad. Inhale down. So your quad should not lift this. Abs in. You're trying to get a glute burn and getting the glute to look after the hip. So no hip pain in this. Inhale down. Abs in. Squeeze your top glute and lift the knee. Inhale. Now your hips do not roll back. Abs in. You can put your hand on your hip if you want to keep your hips still. Inhale down. You want to move from the muscles and not the joint. Abs in. Squeeze your glute and lift that knee. So it should feel like your glute is on, not your quad. Inhale. Abs in. Squeeze your glute and lift the knee. Inhale down, abs in, glute squeeze, lift the knee. Inhale, bring your leg down. Draw your abs in to support your pelvis, squeeze your glute to lift the knee. Inhale down, you're trying to keep hamstrings out of this. Abs in, focus, squeeze your glute and then lift the knee. Inhale down. Abs in, squeeze your glute, lift your knee. Inhale down. Abs in, glute squeeze, lift the knee. Inhale, keep your hips still. This should be burning in your glute. Abs in, get your glute, lift your knee and hold. Now when you're holding, this is not in your quad or your hammy, can you squeeze your glute to keep your knee up? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and come down. We're going to go to the other side. We're training your glutes and around the sides of your glutes and your hips to keep stability through the knee joint and for stability through the hip joint. And this is how we work towards getting injury free in the knees and the hips. Okay, so Hayley set herself up again, heels in line with tailbone, head nice and relaxed on her arm. Knees are bent up, take an inhale for a nice big breath. When you exhale, draw your tummy in towards your spine. Squeeze your top glute now, other one, and lift the knee. So we've moved on to the other side. Inhale, so that means bottom glute needs to be switched off. Abs in, glute squeeze, lift the knee. Inhale down. Draw your belly button to your spine, squeeze your glute and do a small lift. If you're lifting really high, you've gone too far. I want this to be controlled. Inhale. Abs in, control the lift, use your glute to get it. It should take a lot of concentration if you've got this going properly. Inhale. Draw your belly button to your spine, get your glute and lift the knee. Inhale down, abs in, get your glute and lift the knee. Inhale, draw belly button to spine, glute squeeze, lift the knee. Awesome. Take a big breath, let that quad off, let the hammy off. The glute has to go before the hammy. Glute to lift. Inhale, soften your neck and shoulders. Draw your abs in, squeeze your glute, lift the knee. Inhale down, abs in, glute squeeze, lift the knee. We're doing one more. Inhale, get out of the quad and the hammy. Draw your abs in, your heels are together and glute lift. Now hold this in your glute. Practice keeping the glute on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come down. Okay, from here you're over onto your tummy. More glutes. So Hayley is going to put her knees about the edge of her mat. But everybody's different in this one. If you get into this position, so Hayley's got her knees wide about the edge of the mat and then she's got her feet flexed open. So it's like your feet are flat to the ceiling. Now, if you're in this position, this feels so tight and really hard, then you need to bring your knees in closer to make it easier, okay? You have to be able to tuck your pelvis here and fire your glutes. Otherwise, we're not doing it correctly. Take an inhale. Draw your belly button up, tuck your pelvis and fire those glutes. Now this is stretching through the pelvis and the hip flexors. Inhale. Draw your abs in, tuck your bum under and squeeze it. It should feel like a stretch through the front of your hips and it should feel hard to get your glutes on. Inhale. We need a good glute squeeze, tucking pubic bone to floor and stretching through the front of your hips. Inhale, relax your hamstrings. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze those glutes. Inhale, relax neck and shoulders. Abs in, tuck your pelvis and squeeze those glutes. Inhale. You're going to draw your abs towards you. It's like there's a pin pricking into your abs from the mat. It's making you draw your abs to your spine. Inhale. Abs in, tuck and squeeze those glutes. So your knees stay down here and that makes you have to tuck your pelvis to get this stretch. Inhale. Tuck your pelvis and squeeze those glutes. Inhale, soften neck and shoulders. Exhale, shh. So the shush brings your abs up and fire those glutes as hard as you can. Inhale to relax. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze those glutes. Heels are together, feet are flexed open. Inhale. Tuck and squeeze those glutes. Inhale to relax. Draw your belly button up, squeeze and hold. Now I want you to hold that glute squeeze if you can and hold your tuck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going again. Inhale, relax your hammies. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and fire your glutes. Inhale, relax. Tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. Yes, it looks so good. Inhale, soften. You're going to feel when you've got your hips opened up, tuck and fire those glutes. Inhale, take your breath, reset, and then tuck, glutes, 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 glutes. Inhale, soften your glutes off, soften your hammies off, abs in, tuck, squeeze, and hold that glute squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. And we're done.